The Mass. It is at the center of our lives as Catholics. We say that the Eucharist is the source and summit of the faith. But what the heck does that even mean? What do priests and other religious and people in my position mean when we say the Mass? We ought to be fully and actively participating in the Mass. What is active participation? And how do I do it? I know I personally have gone through many masses in my life. I have three kids and a fourth one on the way. Been through so many masses where I feel like I'm just trying to get through mass rather than participate in it. How do I participate? I'm not the priest. Well, we participate by recognizing the deep theology behind the mass and realizing that we are in the Mass. We are not visually experiencing it, but we are physically and spiritually within the Mass. The priest acts as our go between, as our representative, but not the only person at the Mass. Sometimes I've heard it said by different theologians that it might help to really enter into the cosmic reality, the larger than life reality that is the Mass, by imagining the real spiritual reality that is behind our eyes, that we can't physically see. The reality that at every Mass, a miracle occurs, the divine takes on human flesh. And at every Mass, all the angels and saints are all around us. The Lord has seen fit to bestow each of us a guardian angel. Imagine if you went into Mass this Sunday and rather than just seeing, George or Stephanie from down the block, but you saw them and a whole cadre of spiritual beings, all there praising and worshiping the Most High. The Mass is such a beautiful and wonderful gift given to humanity. We actively participate in it by looking at each of the words that are said, all the prayers and the ritual within the liturgy, and really walking hand in hand with the priest through it. We're not watching them do it and letting them do it all on their own. No, rather, they are our leader, our guide through this wonderful, most holy of gifts. So next time you're thinking, oh, well, how do I actively participate? I got two or three kids, then they're loud and they don't understand what's happening. What do they know about the Old Testament reading? Remember that the Mass is at its core about a sacrifice. It's about that word, Eucharist, that thanksgiving of the sacrifice that Christ gave. We are so eternally grateful for what Jesus did. He gave his very self so that we might be saved. We're all sinners. I try every day to be a little bit better, but I'm a human being. I have flaws. We all do. Christ, who is without flaw, came and gave his very self, his very life to atone for, to buy us back from that sin, to pay and repair the damage that we've done. I think reminding ourselves of that as Catholics is really essential into entering into our own sacrifice, placing our own selves on the altar. Imagine, for instance, this upcoming weekend at Mass, that you lay yourself down. Today's Friday, the Feast of the Assumption, and I have a great admiration for and a great devotion to our Blessed Virgin Mary. And Mary is our guide in this. She shows us how we might do the same at every Mass. We might let go of ourselves and lay down all that we are at the feet of the cross. That's what the Mass is about. That's how you actively participate. Bring all that stress and that worry, but also all those joys and those chaotic kids, bring them to Mass and lay them at the foot of the altar as your gift back to God. God bless.